If you're in a relationship with someone who struggles with addiction, whether it's substance use, alcohol, or compulsive behaviors, you already know how complicated love can be, even more complicated than a normal relationship. You may feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, your mind is consumed by your partner's behaviors, you're probably giving more than you're receiving, or you're sacrificing parts of yourself for their own well-being. And in most cases, it seems like they're not putting that much effort in return. And yet you still love them. In this video, I'm sharing 5 books that I've found super helpful, both personally and professionally as a relationship coach, to better understand addiction, reclaim my own power, and offer support to your partner without losing yourself in the process. Hey, gorgeous, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe so we can become friends. My name is Mireille Nicole. I'm a relationship coach and the founder of the Happily Ever After method. I'm all about helping you tackle the tough stuff in love with grace and wisdom so you can experience that love story that you dreamed of as a little girl. Now, these books won't fix your partner or cure his addiction, but they will help you take your next steps with clarity, compassion, and strength. Let's dive into the 5 books I highly recommend if you're loving someone who struggles with any type of addiction. Let's start with the most powerful one, Beyond Addiction. This is hands down the best book I've ever read on addiction when it comes to supporting your partner. I've actually read it multiple times. I've highlighted and I've put bookmarks everywhere and scribbled all over the pages. It's really written for the partner of the person struggling, and it offers an incredibly hopeful framework called the CRAFT method. And unlike traditional tough love models like, interventions and ultimatums, this is really rooted in empathy, connection, and positive reinforcement. You really learn how to reward healthy behavior, set loving boundaries, motivational interviewing, and reducing emotional reactivity, all while reclaiming your own peace and your own power. It's one of the most effective and compassionate methods out there for families navigating addiction. And it includes scripts and science-backed tools and emotional exercises, which I found really practical and useful. If you just read one book from this list that I'm sharing with you, make it this one. The next one is called When Your Partner Has an Addiction. And this one also reinforces compassion over criticism, which is important when your partner's behavior can feel so hurtful and inconsistent. It also reinforces the trauma behind the addiction to help you feel that compassion. It's a little bit less practical than Beyond Addiction, and it references Beyond Addiction a lot, but it still gave me important perspective that addiction doesn't mean that your partner doesn't love you or doesn't care. It just means they're trapped in a cycle that has nothing to do with your own worth. And there's also validation here. You're not crazy for feeling confused or hurt or angry all at once. This book really helped me hold space for all of those emotions. If you're someone who likes to understand the why behind things, you are going to really appreciate this book called Dopamine Nation by Dr. Anna Lemke, which is incredibly insightful. It's not a relationship book per se, but it's all about addiction, obviously, and compulsive behavior from a neuroscience lens. So it's really fascinating. And this book really helped me stop personalizing my partner's behavior. Addiction isn't about you. It's about dysregulation in your partner, escape, distorted pleasure pathways. This book is really good at explaining the imbalance between pain and pleasure in the brain. And what I appreciated the most was the message of hope, because Dr. Lemke shares several powerful stories of recovery that prove that change is possible. So if you feel like you've lost hope, this one will truly light a spark. Now, this one's an absolute must read, another absolute must read. If you're in a relationship with someone struggling with addiction, and I don't have the cover, I just read it on my e-reader. It's called Codependent No More by Melody Beattie. Many people in a relationship with an addict, and I hate that word, are or become codependent. There becomes this obsessive, excessive emotional or psychological reliance on their partner. And in fairness, when addiction is involved, it's really difficult not to let yourself be consumed by the addiction. So the book focuses primarily on relationships affected by alcoholism, but the patterns she describes are the same. same, right? The caretaking, the people pleasing, the emotional enmeshment, especially, that can apply to any codependent dynamic. And it really helps the reader see, or you see, how your attempts to help are actually enabling. And that was me for the longest time. Also, how you can fall into the trap of abandoning yourself to save someone who hasn't chosen recovery yet. There is a religious undertone, so if that's not your thing, just take what resonates in the book. What matters most is that it teaches you how to emotionally detach without abandoning the relationship if that's not what you desire to do. So this last book might seem like an odd pick. It is Let Them by Mel Robbins. This is obviously not an addiction book or even a relationship specific book, although she talks about relationships in there, but it's so relevant when you're in a cycle of over functioning, which is often what happens when you love an addicted partner. It's easy to become controlling or hypervigilant or stuck in the false belief that you are the only one to save them, or you have to save them. This book is a powerful reminder to just let that go. Let people be who they are and focus on what you can control, you. It's a simple yet effective tool in detaching emotionally, which I talk all about on my channel. It's one of my favorite topics when it comes to relationships. Now, disclaimer, I don't believe the let them theory can be applied blindly, obviously, in the case of addiction. But when you pair this mindset with the tools from Beyond Addiction or Codependent No More, it's incredibly empowering. So those are the 5 books that I recommend if you're loving someone who struggles with addiction. If you've read any of these or you have your own recommendations, let me know in the comment, share with our community. I'd love to know what's helped you, and you can also help other people by sharing. And if you need help getting back into your power while still being compassionate, download my free relationship success checklist linked in the description. You're not alone in this, and there is a way forward. Now watch this video next.